Just Joe here with another rendition of Too Many Movies at the Movies. Obviously, I'm not at the movies. I just got back from the movie theater maybe 20 minutes ago where I saw War for the Planet of the Apes, the highly anticipated sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, now making this a brand new Apes trilogy, which has not been done since the 70s with the original 5 movies. And I say highly anticipated because the last 2 movies have been surprisingly excellent. Rise of the Planet of the Apes was refreshing. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was even better. Was War for the Planet of the Apes even better than Dawn? Well, yes, it fucking was! I'm sorry, but this movie was fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic! I mean, this is why I love going to the movies. This is why I want to be a filmmaker, is because of films like this. And of all the things to happen in the last couple decades when it comes to film, an Apes trilogy, a reboot trilogy, is one of the best trilogies in film history. War for the Planet of the Apes, well, let's just get into it. First, I'm going to talk about the plot / the script. At the very beginning, some soldiers who were led by a kind of an evil, maniacal soldier known as the Colonel, I'm guessing he is a colonel, played by Woody Harrelson, comes after, this base full of apes. And yes, Caesar is there, from the last 2 movies, played brilliantly by Andy Serkis, once again, go figure. And a little battle ensues. The apes win, but Caesar decides to send a few of them back to the base to tell the Colonel to leave them alone. The woods is theirs. We don't want a war. Leave us the hell alone, please. Well, unfortunately, the Colonel doesn't listen. He comes back. He kills some apes that are very close to Caesar. Right before this, Caesar's son returned from a long journey to say that they found a new place for the apes to go. They can leave the woods so that humans would never find them. Caesar, tells them, please, take my family, take the rest of the apes to this secret location. I'm going after the bastard that, killed some of our people. How is this, going to conclude the Apes trilogy? Because I will say, even though there could be more in the future, this is a very satisfying conclusion to this movie trilogy. That's really all I can say about the plot, because there actually is a good amount to spoil, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But the story put together in this script it's so solid. It's so well written. A lot of the time, they don't use dialogue because it's not needed. Even though the majority of people in this movie are CG'd apes, they use their facial expressions and the acting by the actors who actually did all this stuff. This is a solid script. I mean, there's no other way to put it. All 3 films have had amazing scripts, and it's amazing how it's dialogue that you take so seriously when it's a bunch of CG'd apes. And yeah, a lot of that comes down to the acting, and I'll get to that, but the scripts are always very well put together, very well paced, and it's obvious that on the page they got the emotions across. And this is the most emotional out of all 3 of the Apes movies. And that's really saying something, because all 3 are highly emotional. The dialogue is very well put together. There's only one scene of exposition between the Colonel and Caesar, but it does seem out of place because the rest of the movie is so natural. In this one, it's kind of obvious it's a movie, but it's necessary, and the explanation is fascinating, what Woody Harrelson's character, the Colonel, is going through. So you don't get bored or anything. It's a little out of place because the rest of the movie, the dialogue was so well placed and so well written. But the script for this was amazing, and they obviously put a lot of love into these movies. They took their time with them, so I'm very happy with it. Okay, next I'm going to talk about the characters / the cast. Of course, Caesar comes back, again played by Andy Serkis, who just give this guy some kind of an Academy Award. I don't care if it's just for best visual effects, just give him a damn Academy Award. I know someday he'll win an honorary Academy Award, which he will earn, but I mean, he's earned it, but why isn't there an Academy Award for something like this? Probably because he's one in a million. He's the guy they go to for this stuff because he's so good at it. You know, even though, yes, it's CG'd over him, he has to do the facial expressions, he has to do the acting. And all the apes, everyone who played an ape or whatever, it's everything is conveyed so well through the facials, and sometimes there's absolutely no dialogue. Everything is said right here. And that's good filmmaking, even with CG. And it's amazing how, you know, I don't like movies that are all CG. You know, sometimes it is necessary. In these movies, it's very necessary. They decided not to go with, you know, makeup or costumes, which at first I was against because it was so well done in the original Planet of the Apes movie, but the CG just got better and better and better, and it was great in Rise. It was a hell of a lot better in Dawn. In this one, they about perfected it. There was only a couple times where the characters looked a little bit off, but not that much. I'm nitpicking, really, when it comes to that. Okay, but anyway, Andy Serkis does an amazing job. I mean, just... God, his... And in this movie, he speaks more articulately. You know, he's kind of learned the English language, the human language, a lot better. So Andy Serkis's voice is perfect for Caesar. And it's commanding and sometimes, you know, very sweet, very soft. It fits very well. And all the other apes, actors that played them, do an amazing job once again. The guy who plays Maurice, who was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and also in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I don't know if it was always the same actor, because the ape didn't always talk. He does a little bit in this movie. Oh, spoiler! I'm just kidding. That's great. Woody Harrelson as the bad guy is a lot of fun. His mission makes sense. He's still a bastard, and you hate him. But when you learn his backstory, it does make a lot of sense. And the way I'll just say his character story arc in the movie, the way it comes to a conclusion, it blew me away how well written it was. He was a very well written villain, even though we just met him. I kind of wish he would have been introduced in the last movie. It would have meant a lot more for this movie, but for what we got, I was very impressed. And Woody Harrelson, one of my favorite actors, you know, knocks it out of the park once again. Another thing I want to say is the little girl they got, she doesn't speak. She's sick, and she can't talk, but she does a great job. She has this scene with a gorilla, and it about brought me to tears, and it was because of her. You know, just she's such a great actress. I hope I see her in more stuff. I hope she grows up and continues acting, because even as a kid, this girl gets it, and she knows it. And it's funny that a girl her age, so young, you know, has to be on set with these people dressed in green costumes, and you tell her, you know, they're gonna be monkeys, they're gonna be apes, and and she took it seriously, and she did her job very well. I was impressed. But there are really no useless characters in this movie. There's a comic relief ape, and he kind of annoyed me at first because it was obvious he was the comic relief, but then I really thought about it. You know, this movie is dark, very bleak, and a lot depressing. So I actually very much enjoyed his character. He was necessary. He was funny. His voice, it sounded like Owen Wilson. I don't know if it was actually Owen Wilson, but he you know, hi, I'm Owen Wilson. You know, that's what he kind of sounded like in the voice. So if it was Owen Wilson, you did a great job. If not, great Owen Wilson impression, if that's what you were going for. But the character I enjoyed a lot, and he was necessary to the movie. He did a lot of good stuff, and I enjoyed all the characters in this. All the actors did a great job. Last but not least, I'll talk about the direction, the editing, and the music. The direction in this movie by Matt Reeves is astounding, and he also co-wrote the script. I don't think I said that before because I'm excited to talk about this movie. I'm kind of skipping over things. But Matt Reeves, he directed Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and he just knocks it out of the damn park. It's not, I don't know how to explain this, it's not shot in a way that's like unique. To me, it's actually shot very simple. It reminds me a lot of the original movies, and I like that. It fit, and I'm not saying like it was simply directed, like he just sat back and, you know, drank a coffee and, you know, just CG, action. No, he cared about this movie as much as he did his Dawn, and it shows. Again, the emotions. He was able to get through to the actors, you know, even the ones playing the apes, to convey that emotion. He did a brilliant job directing, and the shots are beautiful. And what I like is the outside shots, at least from what I could see, are really outside shots, or at least real, like on a set. You know, so it's like the backgrounds aren't CG. It's just the apes and stuff are CG. But Matt Reeves, you know, wonderful director. He did an amazing job, and again, an amazing job with the script as well. So I commend you and your co-writer. Brilliant! And the editing, this movie is so well paced. It's like an hour. It's 2 hours and almost 20 minutes. It felt like an hour. I mean, it blew by. It was amazing. It went by so damn quick. The pacing, the timing, everything was awesome. So, huge props to the editor. And the music, it's funny, at first the music I felt was a little off. I wasn't invested in the music. I don't know why. I guess it just didn't impress me. It was fine, but it didn't impress me at first. But then I realized as the movie went along, it felt again like the music of the old movies. I don't know if that was their intention, but that's how I took it. And the music gets really good towards the end with the battle scenes and the end of this movie, which is incredible. That's all I'll say, because otherwise I'll ruin it. But the music was fantastic. And to me, it just reminded me of the older movies, and it helped convey the story of all the scenes in this film. So my final thoughts on War for the Planet of the Apes, go see it. Please go see it. Even if you haven't seen the first two, they actually kind of explain stuff at the beginning of the movie, which I thought was very clever. They do this thing where it says, like, rise. Like, it says the word rise. They talk about what happened in the first movie a little bit. And then dawn in the second movie. And then war. If you see it, or if you have seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't really want to ruin it. It's not anything big, but it's just a nice little moment, and it's the very beginning of the film. So you don't really have to see the other two. It certainly helps, you know, and it helps you with your investment, because you've already had two films to put that investment in. So, you know, of course I recommend watching the other two, but even if you haven't, you could see this one. And that's incredible, because that's tough to do when it's the third movie in what's now a trilogy. I give War for the Planet of the Apes a Joe rating of 5 out of 5. So thank you for tuning in once again to Too Many Movies at the Movies. Happy to have you, and look out for more of my videos coming very, very soon. Every Friday I have a Too Many Movies episode where I pick a movie from my collection that I've never seen before, and I will watch it. So look forward to that every single Friday. If you have any suggestions, you know, watch the videos. You know, the links are below in the description. Also, find me on Facebook, Twitter, the podcast that I'm on. Everything is listed in the description below. So, and also subscribe to my channel. So thank you very much. I'm Just Joe, and I will see you in the next video. Go see War for the Planet of the Apes. Quiet on the set.